My fiancée announced, "I'm above dining at your family's low-end eateries." During my grandmother's 90th birthday celebration, I replied, "You're completely correct." The next morning, I ensured she'd never have to compromise her tastes by calling off our wedding. Her attitude shifted after that. I'm Thomas, 32, and was engaged to Bethany, 28, 8 months after 2 years together. Our wedding was set for 3 months later. My grandmother, Elena, just hit 90. A first-generation immigrant, she built a modest empire of 3 family restaurants from scratch, becoming the cornerstone of our extended family. For her birthday, she wanted one thing. Everyone gathered at her first restaurant, opened in 1978 with my late grandfather. It's not upscale, red checkered tablecloths, old country photos on the walls, a menu unchanged for decades. But the food, as authentic as it gets. To our family, it's hallowed ground. I'd shared the stories with Bethany countless times. How my grandparents scrimped for 5 years to open it, how my mom practically grew up in its kitchen, how every major family milestone unfolded at table 12. Bethany knew this. At the party, she arrived late, decked out in a designer outfit, fresh from a salon, looking like she was headed to a high-society event. "This is it," she said, eyeing the restaurant. "I thought we were going to the upscale spot downtown." "This is the upscale spot," I told her. "It's the original." She grimaced but entered. My entire family was there, cousins from 3 states, Uncle Antonio after a 2-year absence, everyone. Grandma Elena beamed when she saw us, her joy mixing languages as always. Bethany gave her an air kiss, no hug, to my 90-year-old grandmother. We sat at the long family table. Dishes started arriving. Grandma's renowned meatballs, award-winning lasagna, fresh bread from the bakery next door, our supplier since 1982. Bethany pushed her plate aside. "Not eating?" Aunt Rosa asked. "I'm on a cleanse." "This is too heavy," Bethany replied. "Strike 1. Then my cousin's 5-year-old, little Tony, accidentally spilled juice on Bethany's designer bag. "Are you serious?" she shrieked. "This bag cost $3,000. Who lets a kid run loose like that?" The whole restaurant fell silent, not just our table, but every patron. "It was an accident," Cousin Marie said, wiping it up. "An accident that ruined premium leather," Bethany snapped. "This is why I said we should have gone to a real restaurant, not some place crawling with unruly kids." My grandmother's face, I'll never forget it. She looked gut-punched. "Strike 2. But Bethany kept going. "Honestly, Thomas," she said, loud enough for all to hear, "I'm too good for your family's dive diners. This place hasn't been touched since the 70s. The food's basically peasant fare. And don't get me started on the crowd." She waved at the other diners, regular folks, families, couples, the heart of our community for 45 years. "When we have kids, they won't eat here. I won't let them think this is fine dining." Strikes 3, 4, 5, 6. I stood, calm and composed. "You're absolutely right." She smirked, thinking she'd won. "Finally, can we hit that sushi spot?" "No," I said. "You're right. You're too good for this place, for my family, for our legacy, for the woman whose hard work paid for that ring on your finger." Her expression shifted. "Thomas, I didn't mean. Everyone heard exactly what you meant." I looked at my grandmother, tears in her eyes, my mom gripping her hand, my family staring at the woman I was meant to marry. "Enjoy your sushi alone." I walked to my grandmother, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "She's gone tomorrow, I promise." Then I left, walking out of her 90th birthday, the worst night of my life. Bethany lingered for 5 minutes, per my sister, then took an Uber. She texted me non-stop, "That was over the top. You humiliated me. We need to talk. You can't just ditch me there. Answer me, Thomas." I didn't reply. Instead, at 9 a.m. the next day, I called our wedding venue. "Hi, Thomas Reeves here. Cancel the Reeves-Morrison wedding for September 15th. Is everything okay? You'll lose your deposit." "That's fine. Cancel it all." I called the florist, photographer, DJ, caterer, not my family's restaurant, ironically, since Bethany insisted on a fancy French place. By noon, $8,000 in deposits were gone. Worth it. Then I went to our apartment. My apartment, where she'd moved in 6 months prior. I packed her things carefully. Every designer dress, every pricey shoe, all jewelry except my ring. 23 boxes, left in the lobby with a note, "You were right. You deserve better than us. Good luck." Then I changed the locks. Update 1. The fallout was wild. Bethany and her mother, Patricia, showed up at my office. Patricia in full outrage mode. "What have you done?" she yelled at reception. "You canceled everything." Security was called. I met them in the lobby. "Thomas," Patricia said, switching to fake charm, "this must be a misunderstanding." Bethany said it was a minor spat over dinner venues. She called my grandmother's life's work a cheap diner with peasant food at her 90th birthday, I said. Patricia's face twitched. The wording was unfortunate. She said she was too good for my family. She didn't mean, she meant every word, and I believe her. She's too good for us, so I'm letting her find her match. Bethany fake cried, no tears. "Baby, you're overreacting. It's just wedding stress." "Wedding stress makes you insult the woman who raised me after my dad died?" "Oh yeah, Grandma Elena practically raised me and my sister after Dad passed when I was 10. She's not just my grandmother, she's everything." "I didn't know she raised you," Bethany said. 2 years together. You knew." Patricia tried another tack. "The wedding's in 3 months. People will gossip. Let them. The deposits are gone. Everything's canceled." Bethany broke, real tears now. "You lost $30,000. $8,000. And it was spent ensuring I don't marry someone who disrespects those I love." Security escorted them out as Patricia shouted, "You'll regret this. My daughter has options." I yelled back, "Hope she uses them." That night, the family group chat lit up. "My sister, Lisa, Grandma wants to know if you're okay." "Mom, I'm proud of you." Uncle Antonio, "Thank God she was terrible." Cousin Marie, "Little Tony asks if the mean lady's gone for good." Me, "Yes, tell him she's gone." The best came from Grandma, via Mom's text, "My dear Thomas, you're worth more than all the designer bags in the world." Sunday dinner, Table 12. Don't be late. Table 12, where my grandfather proposed, where my parents announced their engagement, where every big family moment happens, where Bethany will never sit again. Update 2. Bethany's options didn't quite work out as Patricia predicted. She tried to revive the wedding, calling vendors to reinstate everything. Problem: deposits don't come back, and rebooking costs spiked. The venue was suddenly 40% pricier, the florist added a rush fee, the photographer was booked. She needed about $45,000 to pull it off. Her plan: claim I was financially abusive and stole her wedding. Except everyone knew the truth. My cousin Marie's husband, a bartender at Bethany's Friends Country Club, overheard her story. "Thomas got jealous and controlling, canceled our wedding because I suggested new restaurants." A friend, "Didn't you call his grandmother's place cheap?" Bethany, taken out of context. Another friend, "At her 90th birthday, in front of his whole family?" Bethany, "They're too sensitive." Her friends weren't convinced. The real blow came unexpectedly. Bethany, a luxury brand consultant who helped wealthy people buy overpriced goods, relied on her image and network. "My grandmother isn't just a restaurant owner, she's a legend." 3 thriving locations, 45 years in business, connected to everyone in the food world, including Richard Blackstone, who owns the luxury mall where Bethany's office was. Richard, a 20-year regular at Grandma's, same table, same order, was at her 90th. He heard it all. Monday, Bethany's boss called her in. "We need to talk client relations." "My numbers are great," she said. Richard Blackstone called. "He's worried about your values aligning with our brand." "What did he say?" You insulted Elena Rossi's life's work at her birthday, called it cheap and peasant-like. It was a private family matter. In a public restaurant with 60 witnesses, including 3 of our clients. Those unacceptable diners? 2 CEOs and a federal judge, all regulars, all Grandma's friends. Bethany wasn't fired but was encouraged to explore other opportunities. She quit 2 days later. Update 3. Bethany went into overdrive. She started dating instantly, posting new guys weekly on Instagram, each supposedly richer than the last. First was Garrett, an investment banker. Lasted 4 days until she demanded a $500 per plate restaurant on date 2. He vanished. Next was Philippe, a European entrepreneur, who was actually a waiter faking an accent. She found out when she surprised him at his office. Then came Harrison Wellington III, legit old money. Grandfather owned railroads. Bethany thought she'd struck gold, posting about finding someone on my level and attracting what you deserve. Patricia was already planning another wedding. But Harrison's mother, Eleanor, old-school high society with a PI on speed dial, dug into Bethany's past. The restaurant incident, social media, her lost job. Eleanor didn't tell Harrison. Instead, she invited Bethany to tea. My sister, Lisa, knows Eleanor's assistant and got the scoop. Over antique china worth more than my car, Eleanor said. I hear you're quite the food critic. Something about peasant food. Bethany paled. That was, my dear, the Wellingtons have dined at Elena Rossi's for 40 years. My late husband swore her meatballs were the best in the state. I didn't know. You seem to not know much. Like how Harrison's trust fund has a morality clause. Publicly disparaging family or friends voids all financial rights. That's not legal. It's been legal since 1943. It stopped many unfortunate marriages. Eleanor smiled. Harrison can marry who he wants, but the family money protects family, like the Rossis. Bethany left crying. Harrison dumped her that night via text, mid-dinner at a pricey restaurant she paid for herself. Update 4. Bethany's downward slide was real. She moved back with Patricia. No job, no man, no wedding, no apartment, unable to afford rent. Did she learn? Nope. She launched a blog, Dating After Emotional Abuse, a survivor's story. Every post was about me, thinly disguised. When your ex picks his family over your future. Red flags I missed. He was too tied to his mom. Why strong women scare weak men. The comments weren't kind. You insulted his grandma at her birthday. This ain't it. Team Thomas. She disabled comments. Then came the cease and desist. Bethany used a photo from Grandma's 90th in a post about toxic family dynamics without permission, featuring my 90-year-old grandmother. Uncle Antonio, a sharp lawyer, sent a letter, remove all Rossi family references and images, or face defamation and unauthorized likeness lawsuits. She scrubbed everything, but screenshots spread. A TikTok, rich girl calls grandma's food peasant, loses it all, went viral, 2.3 million views. Comments were savage. Too good for Italian food? Yikes. Grandma's revenge hits hard. Her relationships are colder than her leftovers. Patricia called me, sobbing. Thomas, stop them. Bethany's ruined. I'm not doing anything. She posted online. The internet answered. You could defend her. Defend her from the truth? She said those things publicly to my grandmother. She's suffering. So was Grandma on her 90th. Have you no heart? I had plenty. She called it peasant food. Patricia hung up. Update 5. The twist no one expected. Grandma hired Bethany. I nearly choked on a meatball at Sunday dinner when she said, I gave Bethany a job. What? She needs work. I need a dishwasher. Grandma, no. I'm 90. I do what I want. But she's young and foolish. I was once, too. I learned. She hasn't. She won't take it. Grandma smirked. She already did. My jaw dropped. Bethany started the next day. Minimum wage, no special treatment. Day 1, her designer gloves melted in industrial soap. Day 2, she griped about the smell. The cook told her to deal or leave. Day 3, she cried in the walk-in freezer but kept showing up. Week 2, she ditched makeup, pointless when sweating over dishes. Week 3, she ate the staff meal. Peasant food hits different when you're starving. Week 4, Mrs. Chen, the federal judge and regular, recognized her. Aren't you the girl who... Bethany just kept scrubbing. Final update. Today was Grandma's 91st birthday, held at her newest restaurant, same family, same table 12. I brought Adriana, a schoolteacher I met at a bookstore. She drives a 10-year-old Honda and teared up meeting Grandma. Your meatballs are amazing, Mrs. Rossi. Call me Grandma. Have seconds. Adriana had thirds. Mid-dinner, the kitchen staff sang Happy Birthday, led by Bethany, still in her dishwasher apron, hairnet on, looking worn out. She set the cake before Grandma. Their eyes locked. Happy birthday, Mrs. Rossi. Thank you, dear. Bethany saw me, Adriana, and the ring on her finger. Yes, I proposed last week at table 12, with Grandma's blessing. Bethany said nothing, just returned to the kitchen. Later, Grandma pulled me aside. She's quitting tomorrow. Good. I'm giving her a reference. What? She worked hard for 3 months, never missed a day, stopped whining after week 1. She earned it. Grandma, she insulted you. That girl's gone. The one washing dishes is different. Not better, but different. Sometimes that's enough. You're too kind. I'm exactly kind enough. She learned this peasant food feeds hundreds, this cheap restaurant employs 30, and the unacceptable customers are doctors, teachers, judges, janitors, all equal here. And she learned you can't wash dishes with a $3,000 purse. We laughed. Bethany quit, landed a mid-level marketing job, and is dating Roger, an accountant, quietly, no Instagram flexing. Patricia avoids me, my family, the Wellingtons, and the Blackstones. Harrison Wellington III is engaged to a kindergarten teacher his mother loves. Our restaurants are booming, thanks partly to that viral TikTok drawing new customers. Grandma hired more staff. Adriana and I are marrying next spring at the original restaurant. Reception at table 12. Menu: peasant food. Guests: unacceptable clientele. Venue: a cheap diner stuck in the 70s. My bride knows Grandma's meatballs outshine every designer purse. Bethany sent a card, just signed B, no message. Grandma framed it, hung it in the kitchen beside a photo from her 91st, a reminder. Dignity isn't designer, it's hard work, respect, and honest food made with love. Grandma's 91, 5 feet tall, and the fiercest person I know. I'm proud to be her grandson, even if our restaurants are cheap and our food's for peasants. P.S. Yes, the restaurants are real. No, I won't say where. Grandma doesn't need drama, just her family, her tables, and her dignity. P.P.S. The meatball recipe dies with her. Don't ask. Bethany, dish soaps under the sink. You know where.